So hopefully everyone saw the picture, because I remember to bring almost everything, but I forgot to bring the next one. So it's a three-piece design that came from a book called Art in Wood Turning or Education of Wood Turning. I can't remember. It's got an earlier book, which is free on Google Books, Gutenberg Project, whatever they call it, called Art and Education of Wood Turning. And I think his last name is Clint. Anyway, if you just Google that, come up with the book. It's his book that is written in the 30s, so there's still maybe copyright protections. So I can't like photograph it. However, I saw it in there and I thought, well, that would be fun because it incorporates faceplate with some spindle work and a little bit of joinery. It makes it's called a bonbon dish. And a bonbon, in case you don't know, is a foil covered chocolate confection. So I didn't know that. I looked it up. That's how I know that. So the idea is to fill the bowl with candy. So it's a candy dish. You can make them larger if you would like, but I make it at roughly. Oh, okay. I make it at roughly the same size as the book. So the first thing you do is you get your pieces. I have the base, which is here. I'm going to turn the base first. I could turn either the base or the bowl first. It doesn't really matter. But you turn the base and then the bowl, or the bowl and then the base. The spindle last. Why? Because the spindle has a tenon. This is going to have the mortise drilled into it. So I'm going to size the tenon to the mortise. So if I turn the tenons first and they're a little too small or they're too big, then you're going back and forth. If they're too small, you can just take some craft paper and make them bigger. That does work, but this is the easiest way that I found. So it's pretty simple. I have a one-way chuck, so I use a 3/8 bit, and I drilled a hole in the center. This is about 3.5 inches. Make sure, because I know there's some engineers. Sorry, it's 4. And I drill a hole. It's going to go all the way through. At the end of this, this is going to be a through tenon. The other one is not, and the other one's a blind tenon because if it was through, it would go through the center of the bowl. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I get there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this. I'm going to true it, and I'm going to true the bottom. This is going to be the bottom. This will be the top. So I'm going to turn a recess in here. This will be smooth. I'll turn in a recess. I'll flip this around, grab it with expanding jaws, and turn the top. Drill it all the way through, and I'll be done. This will be done. So I thought this is a one-way, and I actually like it. It stays sharp. They claim that it does, and they're not lying. So let me see if I can remember this.
That high speed steel.
It's whatever one way has in craft supplies. Or no, this is packard. This craft supplies in the double end, and this is packard. But whatever their steel is, it's good. Okay, it says 1600. I'll trust it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bevel here. Like that. This part doesn't matter up here. I just want to get this smooth surface here. And try again. All right. So all I care about is this. This is going to be the outside rim. So as long as that's smooth, we're good. All this is going to be taken off anyway. So I'm not worried about it. This is is in New Zealand, so it's backwards. Okay. All right, so I always set this where the middle is meeting the middle of my gouge. In this case, it is. I'm scared to try it. I forgot to do this one. There we go. So same thing, I'm going to find my bevel. Can you guys see it? So from here, I want that nice and flat, and then I want a little chamfer right there, because I don't feel like that myself. So this, now I can make this into slightly longer. So we'll call that good. Now I need a recess here. I always forget what size they are, so I made a little sheet here. Let's go a little bit more. So some of you do not like this tool. I do not know why. It is very handy. So now I can do that. So that's easy stuff. I can go like this. Those lines. Once I do this, we'll get a little more defined look. And there it is. Along this thing. Like that. I'm going to check because I've taken this off before and it does not fit. And that's kind of embarrassing. All right, so now I need to drill a hole. Let me see here. So I'm going to go with 700 RPM. There it is. So all I'm going to do right here, remember I said I was going to drill through it. That's after this step. So all I'm going to do here is drill just a little bit. So when I drill from this side, it cleanly breaks instead of being all ragged. So this is that. That's all that is. I found if I do that, my life is easy. I don't have tear out. If I don't do that, then I get tear out. Lock, unlock. There we go. You ever not done that before?
Yep.
Makes a horrible noise. It does. Okay, so the other roll is to get that out of the way. Like that. All right, so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to hope that it fits. It does. So I just push it because I want the shoulders to ride on that flat spot. And as long as this is true here, then it works. Don't ever trust it, or don't take massive cuts when you're doing this part. So this, according to my diagram, this is 1 inch tall. You see that? Kind of gray, but trust me, that says 1. So that means it's 1 inch here. I'm going to give myself a mark, and all this is waist above the mark. Not a huge deal. I have a bowl gouge. It's 1400. Somebody used to ask me. All down. Go to the center again, go around the drill. What I don't want to do is everything from flying off. That'd be embarrassing. So let's see. All right, so I know that the top where the spindle is going to sit on is about 1.25 inches. So I'm going to guess that this is 1.25 inches or longer. And I made it slightly concave. I will do the same with the spindle, so that one is slightly concave this way. So when they set, they have a neat joint. You can't see any air between them, hopefully. So I'll do it again. Okay, so now look at this. It says 1 1/8. And so that's the size of that. So I go to the middle. Half of 1 1/8 is 9/16. Yeah, I know he's a doctor, so he's highly educated. He probably knows that. Hopefully. So that's about 1 1/8. There we go. All right. So from here, this will be the size of the outside of my base. So from that line to that line, I just need to make a nice little half coat. Very easily done with a hole out. Again, I'm going to the edge. I don't want to tip it out of my jaws, so I'm going to take fairly light cuts. I'm going to work my way down. That's 1600. For the last one, you start getting a little chatter out here, push a little harder here. Don't push into the wood more, unless you're going to get the more bad. All right, so I got about 2 more cuts left. There we go. All right, last cut. Ever heard that line before? Last cut. You read the paper. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing. With a little bit of a chamfer. I think that's what it's called. Turn it off. And I declare that good enough. Now I'm going to drill all the way through. It's safe for me to do that because it's held in expansion. If I can go all the way through, what I'm going to listen for is that different sound. If you listen carefully, you'll hear it. All right. So listen to the sound of the drill. Hear it. This is a 5/8 portion of it. Listen. Hear that? This went all the way through. It didn't splinter out because I made that pre-cut on the other side. All right. So. There it is. All right, so the base is done. There's that little bitty thing. That's what it does for you. If you don't do that, it will tear it out. Not a huge deal, but if you're all fastidious, that's the right word, then you'll be sanding forever. Do that, you won't. So, next is turning the bowl. It's just as easy. Except I use a little insurance. Because I don't want to spend this much time and effort and have something fall out because I'm rough cutting and I'm just holding it like this. Or I'm just holding it by my jaw. So a little insurance is a good thing. So the same thing, I have drilled through what will be the bowl portion. So where this is drilled, there we go. This is going to be the bowl part, except it's only 1.5 inches. I have to look at my diagram, but I believe it's only 1.5 inches. So I'm going to have to hog off a lot of that. So this is a safe hole to drill. Because I'm going to make the bowl here. This part is going to be the bottom of the bowl that will get onto the spindle. And I'll show you how to make it to where you can't really tell how you know. So I screw this on.
They were asking why you have a little piece of wood.
Oh, yeah, because it's not that deep. And that 1/2 inch is tiny. Yeah, that's all it is. If you have a Nova, sometimes the Nova ones are really short, which I like. But I really like this chop. All right. So all I'm going to do here, I need to screw the outside, and then I'm going to measure up to here, turn the outside of my bowl, and turn a tenon so I can flip it and grab it with the tenon to turn the inside of my bowl. But don't let me forget, before I flip it, I need to turn the mortise, or I need to drill out the mortise 1/2 inch deep, which amazingly is the depth of the little sidewall. So I've forgotten to do that before. When you put it back on, sometimes it gets wobbled, and it's kind of a pain. And then you'll get a little bit of an offset because it's messed up. And it's just, don't let me forget, sometimes I do. All right. So, same thing, I'm going to screw the outside so it's not all wobbly on me. Make my tenon, hog out my outside, and turn this thing up. And that's 1400. So this way. Somewhere right around here is going to be where it needs to be super smooth, because that's going to be the outside edge of the bowl rail. You notice I don't really care about that. Don't care about that. I do care about this little bit right in here, and that looks nice and smooth. So, diagram says 1.5 inches. I'm going to come up 1.5 inches and make the mark. There we go. So this is all waste. And now I need to turn the pin. Again, I'm going to cheat. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So there's nothing worse than turning the pin small. There probably are things worse, but not for me right now. Which, speaking of that, is from Bill earlier. That's why I was getting nervous. I don't really, because if I get a catch, it's the real thing. I wasn't trying to do it, it just happened. And that actually makes me less nervous. Now you know, if I get a catch, okay. I'll still make this thing. All right, so that's going to be my tenon. So now I'm going to make the tenon itself, and then hog out this hole here. There we go. So I like my tenon about 3/16. Okay. Spindle gouge. And then give myself a nice little flat right there. And then a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of a big tenon. You don't want it too big. But the shoulder that it rests on, right there, that's important. That needs to be flat. All right. We'll call that good enough. So now what I can do is I can start hogging from here to just below this line, because I want it roughly the same as that base, which is about that big. Good enough. All right. So because I have this, I can go a little bit more. I'm just going to put my hips in here. Getting rid of material. All right, so that's nice and ugly. So now I'm going to make it nice and clean. I'm no longer at the real stock support. Never moving full rest. Your leg is moving, right? All right. So I want, can you see how ugly this is? Yeah. I want that nice and smooth. The only way I'm going to do that is to ride my belt. So that's easy enough, right? Excess vibration protected. So, okay.
It complained about how
It didn't like my rubber. That's all right. I'm trying to ride my rubber. All right. Last class. I was pushing on that tool rest too. Pressure on the tool rest. Light pressure here. Heavy pressure tool rest. That way the only thing vibrating is that little bit of steel sticking over that far. That's got enough meat for good to go. All right, so now I'm going to make this a little bit concave here. then I'm gonna drill that, and that way I can flip it around. All right, so I'm gonna swap this out. Always put things back. Okay, turn this thing down. 700. So I'm just going to go to the bottom of that. That's it. I like looking at the dock. It keeps giving me that feedback. All right. A little bit farther. I don't want to go too deep. I'm going to end up with a donut. There we go. And interestingly, if you care, this is a cheap 5/8. I think it's not Harbor Freight, but Home Depot. And I ground down the tip just a little bit. You know, the tips sometimes are kind of long. I ground it down just for this. These things are what they're saying about. So it was worth it to me. All right. So now I can flip it around and then put back my insurance policy here. While I'm using it. Then I think to myself, am I really done? There's no going back. And I say yes. And I remember the kind of one maybe. Like that. Okay. I'm going to grab this thing. Get a nice middle pressure. Okay. Don't want to go too tight. If you go too tight, this is alder. In case anyone was wondering, it's fairly soft. So if you go too tight, you're going to start torquing that wood, and that can lead to a tone problem. Okay. So now I'm going to readjust this line because you may notice when I came up, I got a little bit liberal, and so I'm going to go there. So that's going to be my side. It's roughly like that. So I'm going to take that down. Everyone okay on time? Okay. All right, let me turn it up. So when I hog this off, you can start hogging it in. Why not, right? All right. So now I'm going to lose my protection here. Now I'm just turning the inside of the wall for basically flat. I know I can go over a half an inch. I can go to 5/8 in there. I guess. Just showing how deep I go. I guess. But then we can do the math. Right, Doc? We could go like 5/8 from 1.5. What's the difference?
7/8, right? I can go 7/8 deep. If I go any farther, I'm in danger of, even though I ground off that little tip, I'm starting to get in danger of seeing that. So I want to go about 3/4 deep. That's not very deep, but it does hold a lot of foam, which is the idea, right? There we go. All right, so you get that. Put the thing over here. I like giving a little shelf right there. Just tight. I don't want to hog too much, because if I do, it's not very good. Not very strong. All right, so let's go down again. Okay. Anybody else ever get that little thing right in the middle? Or just me? But I had some sneaky sandpaper, but I guess I lost it, so never mind. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, it's with your finished product.
Yeah, it's at home and all other one.
All right, I'll kind of rub on it. All right, so my pencil mark is still there. No, I'm not going to. I don't have the depth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to jam chuck it against my chuck with this kitchen floor anti-slip stuff from the dollar store. I bought a roll probably 5-6 years ago or more. I still have most of it, so it's pretty good. And that will be my path. But I have to be super careful, because if I'm not, it's going to start rotating on that. This only provides so much protection with paint lines. But it does give me what I need if I take line cuts to remove the tenant. Let's see what I'm talking about. I'm just going to kind of close these. This one here. Bring this thing up. This, you'll notice, fits right in. So it kind of centers it. There you go. So it's not very tight. If I start getting all angry with my tool, then I'll find out that I shouldn't do that, because it's going to stop the wood. But guess what ain't stopping? The chuck. So those jaws will tear into it. So I have to be gentle. Kind of close enough. I'll turn it down just a hair. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that. So a little thing there. Now I'm going to come the wrong way. You know what I mean by the wrong way, right? It's just a little itty bitty bit. Out of your field. Come in here. Just a little touch. This is also a negative rate straight line. All right. Good. so you get rid of, the mounting. The hard mounted. There we go. All right. So, my bowl is done. Go. Spindle time. No involving anymore. Spindle work. To the right. Especially the steel. All right, so this is a piece. It is 5 inches, 1.5 inches. I do that right? You can see it. So it's going to come down to roughly 1 inch and 3/8 ish. So if you start off with 1.5 inches, you know you're good to go. All right. So when I do faceplate work, I tend to hold my tool rest lower than center by a smidgen. Exactly the opposite when I do spindle work. That's the right, faceplate is lower, spindle's higher. Why is that? Because you're gonna make me think. Because the center of the flute, when I come in, that's where my cutting is happening. On my spindle work, I'm actually cutting a little bit above, if I can see what I'm doing. There's probably physics behind it, but it works. All right. So I don't have a spindle roughing gouge for these small things like my skew. So 2600-ish. A couple different ways you can do this. You can it's not a full cue. You're arcing it in. Not sure if your DVR is and then you can smooth it. So it's fairly fast. It's a little bit rough from the field cuts. No problem, don't care, because I'm going to finish everything. It's called a story stick. So this is the top. You can kind of see this is the tenon that's going to fit into the bowl. This is the tenon that goes through the base. So I hold this up to here, because that's how long I want my tenon. There. I'm going to turn my tenons first and fifth. That way I know they fit, and I don't need to worry about nothing. I can go and I can turn my other lead. So, this is what I found to be easiest. I do this right now. Is just set my calipers here. A little bit better. There we go. Now, I'll do the notice that I went in a little bit. You don't want to make it complicated. You haven't noticed this is a little kind of skew right here. You can just make a little dot just like that. All right, pretty sure that all went. All right. Why it's a little bit long. Not good whatsoever. I'm gonna take a little bit off the top. That's what I'm gonna do. In case you're wondering, that was not supposed to happen. So, or what I can do. That's right. Watch this trick. I learned it in the army. So I don't have much to take off. I can probably do that. There we go. Steve, you never had that happen to you. All right, so I'm gonna flip it around now. Because this is too big, I can't turn a 5/8 stand on there. I'm gonna flip it around from the other 5/8 one right here. There we go. On the calipers. That's big enough to test it. Okay, so now I can finish this tenon, provided it's the same size. Yeah, kind of pressing hole. Actually, I can use this one doesn't really matter if it's a little bit too long. It's not or whatever you set it on. You see that? Okay. So now I like to have a storage stick near in orientation, so I know what to do. So I got a V cut here, and I got a V cut here. I'm going to make those first. This goes down to roughly 1/2 inch. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to make another V cut there, because no one's going to be measuring this. So this V cut. When you make a V cut, I don't know if you can see. So when I started, this part of the bevel is pointing where I want it to go, and the blade itself angled slightly away so it clears the wood. Only to cut it with that tip. Back and down to the other side. That's called a tip. That's what happens when you let the blade itself, you don't angle it away. We'll go there, right to there, and this one here. That's a test. That's okay. It's not so scary, is it? All right, so all right, so this line here is the top of like a base. So it's going to rotate there. This one is going to OT down to the middle of this one. and then come back up to that feedback. You'll see. So I'm gonna start with this one. And I'm just running a half beat as it all. So, always look at your horizon. Okay. And now from here to there, you can go. So. And kind of a shallow curve. And then connect it here. Connect it here. There we go. I think I was telling Bill it should be easier with a happen. Let's see. Because what I have to do is this has to be smooth. The shoulders want to pull up the edge. So no big deal. This here, this needs to be as narrow. So this fits on it and doesn't go over. Easy solution, do this. Part it down the side, right? So that way I'm not using rulers. I'm using the actual workpiece to make sure that it fits. Come on that roll, and I go up here too. So this will do the same thing here. There we go. All right, so this on those, I like to put a little line right there. Smooth this out. And then put a little tiny one of those. Okay. So now, I need this tool. So this is this way. Now you see how it's coming together. But I gotta use this. So skew would be handier. You gotta get rid of that unsightly little line. All right, so this one gets a probe. Both are fairly easy to make. We got to clean this one now. All right, so my probe is a little off center on purpose. Turn this thing off. Give this one a little thing. That. And then just right there, just a little bit. Don't make fun of me. There. Okay, so here's the theory. It all fits together. If I get everything right, it will all fit together. Things will take a little while. But,
You're good.
Good.
I apologize, but just know that Steve is very particular. And I don't want to try to do anything that's less than perfect. And Bill.
Show it for the camera.
It's upside down, when it starts at 180, there you go.
Agree.
Your shirt. Bring it through.
Oh, there you go.
No, it's great.
Was that some bonbon? It's like the final finished version.
Yeah.
I think your script was
What's the one that goes like that?
Okay.
Yeah, so this is concave, this is concave. I think when you get, one thing that can happen, I'm not sure if it's happening on this one, is if you don't get it all the way down, sometimes that can hamper. There can be a little bulge, and I'm looking at that one, I wonder if it wasn't actually too off, it's just that little bulge.
Whatever you need.
So in the camera, look. See right there. Right there. See that little line? Yeah. That's it. I think.
So that was a good last cut.
Yeah.
Famous last
Sometimes last cut. All right, that's it.
Okay. I think that's the fastest turn item I've seen. 3 pieces. And what's that? Okay, guys, that's the end of the demo. For those on Zoom who stuck through, thanks a lot. I'd appreciate if anyone would just send me an email of how this went for you as far as the video and the audio. I know we had some problems. We'll try to fix that next time, but for the live meeting here, we're going to go into our raffle and then clean up. So I'm going to end the Zoom call here. Again, thanks for hanging in there for us.
Thanks, Roger.
Take care.
Nice demonstration.